Hi everyone, this is Miss Granger. In this video, we will be going over the ATL skill of paraphrasing. On your notes, remember you will be pausing and recording information and doing activities as directed. Let's get started. Our objective for this lesson is that students will demonstrate knowledge and understanding of subject-specific content and concepts through developed descriptions, explanations, and examples by paraphrasing accurately and concisely. Make sure you've included the word paraphrasing in this first blank. So let's go down to part 1 where we're learning and taking notes about this skill. When you paraphrase, you write your own version of relevant and essential information and ideas that are expressed by someone else, and you present it in a new form. Accurately means correctly, and concisely means brief but informative. Let's move down to the box that says, how do I do this? The first step in paraphrasing accurately and concisely is to read the information carefully in order to understand its true meaning. The information may not be actual text, it may be something that you're listening to or watching. It's the same thing. You're going to access the information. One way to do that is reading. Our next step is to think of how that writing can be altered, but still keep its true meaning. You want to think about what the main idea is, because that will be the most important information to keep. And then number 3, finally, you will write your information by using different verbs or action words and syntax sentence structure. Let's talk about why this skill even matters. There's 2 reasons. It really does demonstrate your understanding of something if you can rephrase it in a different way but keep the true meaning. And most importantly, it avoids plagiarism and the consequences thereof. Remember that paraphrasing is not copying the same thing word for word. It is rephrasing this in your own voice. Let's move down to part 2, which is our practice. We're still focusing on paraphrasing accurately and concisely. Here's what we're going to do. Follow the directions for each original sentence to identify and create a paraphrase. This first set of sentences has been done for you, so let's go through what has been written. Number 1 says, the job of a historian is to create continuous, accurate, and meaningful narratives of past events. On the right-hand side, you'll see a number 1, and that corresponds to this number 1 that I just read. Now, I have already paraphrased this for you. So when I paraphrase it, it sounds like this. An historian's work involves piecing together the correct version of what happened in the past. The bold text are the words and syntax changes that I have made. So I changed this information, but I'm keeping the same meaning. So again, if I compare these 2 sentences, you'll see that they do have the same meaning, but they are phrased differently. Number 2 says, to carry out their work, historians follow certain methods to help them evaluate and interpret information. Now, when you see number 2 on the right, you will see my paraphrase. It says, historians follow particular protocols to complete their work. Your job right now is to underline the different words that I have used in order to paraphrase this sentence. So compare the 2 sentences and find the words and phrases that are different and underline those. Pause the video and do that now. The next section is fill in the blanks. We're going to fill in the blanks on the right with the paraphrased version of these original sentences below. So again, 3 will correspond with 3, 4 will correspond with 4. Number 3 says, historians typically begin their work by finding a question they hope to answer or a problem they wish to solve. So I've already started this sentence for you. We started with, to start their work, historians, and then your job will be to fill in the blank with a paraphrased example of this. So pause the video and paraphrase number 3 now. Number 4 will be the same thing. 4 says, historians first have to make an observation about the real world. In this paraphrase that you'll do, I'm looking for 2 things. The first thing I'm looking for in this first space is a transition phrase or word. So how can I introduce this idea using the information I see in this sentence to then start this sentence? Again, I'm looking for a transition phrase right here. How can I begin this sentence? Then you'll go on and say, historians examine, and paraphrase the rest of it here. Pause the video and do that now. Lastly, you're going to do sentences 5 and 6, and the directions just say paraphrase the original sentence below. So you'll read sentence number 5 and paraphrase it on the right where it says number 5. Then you'll read sentence 6 and paraphrase sentence 6 on the right. Go ahead and pause the video and do this practice now. Let's take a look at the last part, the mastery check. We're still continuing to paraphrase, and very similar to the practice, we will paraphrase the original sentences below. So the original sentences are over here on the left. There are 2. On the right is where you will write your paraphrase. You're going to read the sentence and then write. Remember, there's a mini checklist here to help you make sure you are completing this correctly and doing the best job that you can do. So when you paraphrase, make sure that you do this, looking at this mini checklist. I paraphrased both sentences. I used synonyms, or words that mean similar things, for multiple words. I changed the syntax, or sentence structure, of both sentences. And finally, I used capital letters and punctuation. Remember that you can reference the box below. It is the same information that is included in this mini checklist. Good luck with your mastery check, and when you're done, be sure to follow the directions of your teacher.